Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 7th of July, comes to you from London. And a bit more red on the screen today, just the first thing you notice. And we're looking, first of all, at the major currencies. The dollar index still trending up long term above the cloud, medium term we're bearish, short term we're bearish. Remembering this is my long term, my medium term, and my short term view with trends on the cloud charts and point and figure targets on the Updata charts. So here we start seeing the dollar. We've got long-term upside targets, but of course short-term we are just seeing more pressure on the dollar at the moment. It has recovered quite sharply, but we're really, ever since March, we're really waiting for confirmation of new highs or new lows, and those are the key levels set. The euro is sitting at 112.72, descending a little bit, and again we are stuck in this 107, 114 range. Until we break out of that, we won't see a significant trending on the dollar euro rate. And we see here that the Japanese yen again has been very much sideways, so we're waiting for direction there as well. And against sterling against the dollar is sitting around this 125 level, and it has been again relatively benign these last few months. Against the euro, sterling has been steadily declining for the last few months, and we're just sitting at this 111, 110 area at the moment. If we take a look at Bitcoin, sitting at $9,200, not a lot of action there either, sideways for a few months. But one area that has been trending has been US stocks, and we see the S&P 500 index still in this bullish territory, of course not making new highs yet, and that will be the real test for this market. We do have an upside target potential here, lots of upside targets, so it does still have further to go on the basis of that chart. And we look at the NASDAQ, we are just pushing to ever new highs. Of course, Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft make up a third of the Nasdaq 100 index. So those three stocks alone are major drivers. Looking at the Dow, we see we were up 1.7% yesterday, 1.8%. So again, looking stronger here. Futures this morning just indicating that we will open lower. Yesterday was the fifth day in a row that we've risen. We haven't seen that for quite a few months since December, and if we go higher today, that will be the first time in over a year. But it looks like with the futures that we are going to open lower today. So we are bullish still on the short and medium term trends, but we're expecting a down day today based on what the futures are saying. And we're seeing in Europe the FTSE future down just over 1%, the DAX index, the cash market, down 1.3%, and the CAC Courant down 1%. Basically worries of second spike in coronavirus is still having an impact. And we look at the Japanese market down a third of a percent, and the Hang Seng is actually down 1.3%. So we are still in a long-term downtrend here, but medium and short-term we're starting to recover. China, though, has really broken out on Monday with that rise of nearly 6%. And we see how Chinese stocks have really gone mad, making new two-year highs. So that is a significant factor in Asia at the moment. And the Indian market relatively flat, not much change there. The Aussie market down very slightly as well. Looking at gold, we're sitting at 1778, holding on to the bullish trend on all three time frames. Upside targets, this 1820 is really the next level, and is looking quite likely that we will see an 1800 price for gold at least, and we've got upside targets higher than that, of course. Silver sitting at $18.10, still in bullish territory on all three charts there. US 10-year yields relatively static at 2/3%, have been sitting really around this level for some time. Taking a look at the energy mix now, Brent crude is down this morning by just under 1%, holding on to the bullish trend in the short term. We do have a downside target here of 1.6% lower to $42, but we do have upside targets as well. So a little bit of a mixed picture, but we are holding the bullish trends at the moment. Much the same picture with WTI, of course. We are holding the bullish trends there as well, with lots of upside targets still there. US nat gas sitting at 187. This seems to be around the resistance level. Hard to see nat gas getting above the 190 mark at the moment, though we do have a couple of targets to the 210 mark. Coal is relatively flat this morning, but holding that recovery trend. Upside targets here now 5% higher. So coal is looking like a return to a bull trend, and emissions have been pushing ever higher, nudging that €30 mark. So really running there. UK gas MBP front month is static this morning, but still holding on to its bullish trend, and that recovery looking almost assured. And if we look at TTF, we are holding the €6 mark. 630 is the level that we really need to break, but we are again looking like a recovery there. And for winter gas, we are seeing much the same picture in terms of recovery and some good upside targets. And if we look at German power, we're seeing here that German power is just holding on to that €43 mark. So looking very strong, having jumped yesterday. And again, we're in that bullish trend area now for power. So that's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.